I'll take question number 14 now after question number 12 because it is a similar kind of question on the similar concept. Question number 13 we'll take later. So in question number 14, it is just the next step of what we have done till now. We are told three different shells, concentric shells. The inner shell is of radius A, the second shell is of radius B, and the third shell is of radius C. So you have got three shells, and as per the question, they have similar charge densities in magnitude. It has a charge density sigma, it has a charge density minus sigma, and it has a charge density plus sigma. It means it will have a charge QA, which is 4 pi A square into sigma. This one, second shell, will have a charge QB, which is minus 4 pi B square into sigma. And the third shell will have a charge QC, which is 4 pi C square into sigma. So they have charges 4 pi A square sigma, 4 pi B square sigma, minus 4 pi B square sigma, and 4 pi C square sigma. What we want is potential of the three shells A, B, and C. So we are looking for what is the potential on the shell A, what is the potential on the shell B, and what is the potential on the shell C. So if I say what is the potential on the shell A, potential on the shell A will be due to its own charge QA on its own surface, then due to the charge QB on the outer shell, and then due to the charge QC on the very outer shell. So potential on A will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into QA by A plus QB by B. Due to its own charge, it will be QB by B, it will come as it is, plus QC by C, because its own charge QC by it will have a potential QC by C, which will come as it is. So potential at A will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught QA by A plus QB by B plus QC by C. And this is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. When I say QA, it is 4 pi A square sigma by A plus minus 4 pi B square sigma by B plus 4 pi C square sigma by C. 4 pi also gets cancelled. So potential at A finally you are getting is sigma by epsilon naught into A minus B plus C. Now similarly, I look for potential at B. So potential at B will be first due to this charge, due to charge here QA. It will behave as center. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught QA by B. It will behave as though situated at center and you are looking at B, plus QB by B. Here it is already QB, plus QC by C, because the potential of it QC by C will come here as it is. So potential at B will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into QA plus QB by B plus QC by C. So we are getting potential at B as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, or 4 pi epsilon naught, I leave it. I call it straight Q sigma by epsilon naught. QA was A square. it is a square by b minus b, because b square by b plus this is c square by c, so plus c. A square by b minus b plus c. And then we are looking for potential at C, at outer. So potential at outer will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. I am writing here at C. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. It will be QA by C plus QB by C plus QC by C. For all of them will behave as though situated at center. So potential at C will be sigma by epsilon naught into, this is A square by C, this will be B square by C, this will be plus C. So you have got three equations. I am sure you enjoyed. The concept must be internalized now. You must have a clear understanding how the potential moves from out to in or in to out. Now here the final result is somewhat like this: potential at A, potential at B, and potential at C. Now in the B part of the question we have said, if VA is equal to VC, then what is the relation between A and B? So I can say VA was A minus B plus C into sigma by epsilon naught, and C was sigma by epsilon naught into A square by C minus B square by C plus C. So A minus B is equal to A square minus B square by C. A minus B is equal to A plus B into A minus B by C. So A plus B is equal to C is the relation of the radius. So it appears to be a difficult question, but in fact, by a basic concept, it is very much under your level. You can do it very easily. So we now take this question number 13. That is the only question left on this shell case. There is a thick metallic shell of inner radius A and outer radius B, and it has a charge Q1 on it. So just imagine that you have a metallic shell. So it's made up of some conductor. It has got its inner radius, which is A, and it has got its outer radius, which is B. And it has a charge Q1 on it. So the total charge which is given to it is Q1. But at the same time, there is a point charge which is Q2 here at the center. So if I have a point charge Q2 at the center, then by induction it will be minus Q2, and by induction it will be Q1 plus Q2. That's how the charge will be there. Now I want charge on each surface. So okay, on the inner surface there will be charge minus Q2. On the outer surface there will be charge Q1 plus Q2. Also find the electric field and potential everywhere. Now when I say everywhere, when I am looking for everywhere, so let me just find electric field. For electric field, you will move from in to out. So in to out. So for electric field, say I have a point P here at a distance R1. Outside charge or the shell don't provide electric field within. So who will provide the electric field within at P or within? The electric field will be provided only by the inside charge, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 by R1 square. So I can say E1 is inversely proportional to R1 square. Then if I ask, what do you think of the electric field at point Q? So electric field at point Q, E2 at Q, it means within metal, in the shell. So E2 will be 0. And then if I say, what do you think of the electric field at a point, say S or R? So electric field at R, maybe this radius is R3, or maybe it is, let's call it R2. Now, who will provide electric field at R? You have charge here Q1 plus Q2, you have charge here minus Q2, you have charge here plus Q2. It will behave as though the whole charge is situated at center. So the electric field E3 will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 plus Q2 minus Q2 plus Q2 divided by R2 square. So E3 will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 plus Q2 by R2 square. So electric field E3 is inversely proportional to R2 square. So that's how you can show the electric field. If I plot the graph showing the electric field variation, I can say for inside, the electric field has a value inversely proportional to R square. So first, for inside, the electric field has a value inversely proportional to R1 square. Then for the conductor from A to B, so this is from R is equal to A to R is equal to B, the electric field has a value 0. But then, once again, from B to outside, the electric field has a value here, once again, inversely proportional to R3 square or R2 square. So in the conductor, the electric field will be 0. Here electric field is inversely proportional to R square, and here electric field is inversely proportional to Q1 plus Q2 by R square. Here it is inversely proportional to Q2 by R square. So I should draw it like this way. So we learned about the variation of electric field. Now we learn about the potential, and remember, for potential you should come from out to in. So let's talk of potential at R. Potential outside. Outside. That is at R. So for the potential at R, the whole system will behave as though the whole charge is situated at center. So potential at R will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 plus Q2 by, let's call it, this R is at over here. So Q1 plus Q2 by B, or let's call it R2, no problem, R2 plus minus Q2 by R2 plus Q2 by R2. So here the potential at R will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 plus Q2 by R2. So VR is inversely proportional to R2. Whatever is the radius, it is for R2 which is greater than B or equal to B. R2 has a value greater than B or equal to B. Now what is the potential between A and B for R greater than A and less than B in between. Whatever is the potential here, same will carry in. And let's talk of now the potential at P. So if I talk about this conductor, the potential will become constant. So it will have the same value. So potential will be there 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 plus Q2 by B. Same potential. Whatever is that surface, Q1 plus Q2 by R2. In place of R2, it will be Q1 plus Q2 by B. Same will carry everywhere in. Everywhere in. Now, how about this at P? P point is where R1 or R is less than A. Now, for point P, there are so many reasons for the potential. This Q1 plus Q2, then minus Q2. So, potential will be here at P. Potential at P will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 plus Q2 by B as it is plus minus Q2 by A. This was minus Q2 by A plus Q2 by R. So potential at a point here will be due to this, then due to this, and then due to this. So Q1 plus Q2 by B plus minus Q2 by A, because its radius here is A, plus Q2 by R. And that's how the potential varies. So we can find electric field and potential in this situation also. So I have taken all these questions. They are all very good questions, I must say, a very good compilation of the questions, one after another. Every question is giving you a different idea, a different situation. And believe me, if you have done all these 6-7 questions on shell, then you have done almost all the concept of on the shell. You can deal with all kind of questions. So it may appear first time little difficult, but once you repeat it 2 or 3 times on your own, then you will start really enjoying these questions and you'll have a good confidence on the question of this kind.